Okay, number 2 is the consideration of a resolution requiring the removal or raising of an unoccupied, dilapidated structure located at 1722, 1724 South Arkansas.
Your Honor, the property owner is here.
This is me first. Is there someone present?
Yes, I have obtained a partner and received the money to where I can bring the building back up to code and put a roof on, fix the windows, bring it up to code.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you over here. Could you speak up a little bit?
I have recently partnered up and have the finances to where I can put a new roof on and bring the building up to code.
Well, in order to do that, you'll have to, there's an agreement that you'll have to sign with the city to bring it up to code within 6 months.
If we pass the resolution.
Well, I mean, if we don't, then how much time are you giving to bring it up then? How long do you think you're going to be able to fix this structure and bring it up to code?
Say that again?
How long is it going to take to bring your structure up to code?
If you give me the approval, I get started tomorrow getting on the roof, and then we go from there.
What's the time frame?
I haven't even thought of a time frame. I didn't, you know.
How long will it take you to have a roof on its site? Let's start there.
Depending on how busy the roofers are, in less than 30 days.
So our standard rehab agreement is 180 days. Can you have it roofed, sealed?
Yes.
The outside and all that within 6
180
months?
days, yes.
We could,
I'd rather see it rebuilt
I would too.
and brought up to code and maybe rented and
how about,
to tear it down. We don't like tearing it down as long as you're willing to sign the rehab agreement. Mr. Moore, do you have anything on that, or? Mr. Moore? Or Brian, either one? Does that work? Are there?
We have dealt with this property probably
No, I
a little more than a year now. I would suggest to the council that you pass a resolution to declare this a dilapidated structure and then allow Mr. Humphreys to go into a rehab agreement with the city, which would give him 180 days to start the rehab process and take it all the way through to certificate of occupancy. We're not looking just to let him put a roof on it and stop there. We need it taken all the way back to where it's a usable building. And the only way to do that would be to enter into a rehab agreement.
that's not the only way to do it. And I'll tell you what, one of the things we could do is says he can have a roof on it in 30 days. And we have a meeting again in about 30 days. We can easily table this resolution. And if he doesn't have a roof on it in 30 days, then we have another set of circumstances. I think we'd be better off having the building rebuilt, rehabilitated with the least amount of encumbrance on the owner as is possible. And 30 days does not hurt really anything. So, I guess I'd make a motion to table this for 30 days and let's see if he can get a roof on it in 30 days. Been a year anyway, 30 days ain't gonna hurt.
Mr. Humphrey, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
We've just heard that they've been dealing with you for quite a while on this piece of property. Is there a reason that you're waiting now to act and get this financing in place?
I didn't have the money at the time. I do now.
So money's not gonna be a major issue?
No.
I second the motion.
I just, haven't we, since we started the rehab agreements, we've always passed the motion, started the 180 days. If we get to the end of that and they need another 30 days, has it not worked better? We can grant them an extension at the end if they just need to finish painting and all of that stuff. I just,
That just takes money away from the project, though.
he just stated that money is not gonna be an issue.
Well, it has been. And again, I think we have a motion and a second, right, on tabling it for 30 days.
Of course, the problem is, or the fact is, are we gonna pick and choose who we require to sign the rehab agreement, or are we gonna do everybody equal? And, you know, if we're gonna pick and choose, we might well do away with rehab agreement.
Yeah, I
Well,
think-
the last time we did this, you know, that we got, it got vetoed, and the point ought to be, you know, one of the things we talked about then was, financial hardship was not a reason for not being able to do anything with a structure, which is, you know, financial hardship's a reason for almost everything. You know, 13 months is not really very long for the city to have been being involved with some of these structures that we've seen. We've seen more than that, but, you know, I guess what I'm getting at, putting him in a rehab agreement will require a deposit, which takes away from rehabbing the building itself, which is what we're trying to do anyway.
The rehab agreement, though, is in place for a reason. He stated that money is not an issue. It protects the city if we enter into this agreement for 6 months. That's just my opinion.
But it costs the city nothing to wait 30 days. If the individual doesn't come back with showing any results, I'm for moving forward.
It doesn't cost us anything.
So the motion on the floor is exactly what? Postpone this for 30 days and bring it
Put
back?
it off for 30 days and see if we can get a roof on it.
That's a motion and a second on that? Is that correct?
Are we're talking a roof on the entire thing,
Yeah.
not half a roof or nothing
We're
like that?
talking about a roof on the property, 1722, 1724. That's what we're looking at, that's what we're talking about. 1722, 1724 South Arkansas. That's the structure that'll have a roof on it.
Is there any roof on the structure at all now?
Sir?
Is there any roof on the structure at all now?
Yes, on 1724.
What happened to the roof?
It fell in.
You got
And
pictures
it,
of it.
we took,
Right there. That's the structure there.
So one side does have a roof.
Almost back.
So is the motion now to make him repair half the roof?
Well,
It's a roof
no,
on the...
no. To 30 days, put a roof on it, if the one part is covered to some degree. If it needs a roof, it needs a roof. Doesn't hurt us at all to show a little bit of benevolence and give it 30 more days.
Okay, you hear the motion on the floor? Do we vote on the motion or the
There's a motion
resolution?
and a second.
Motion and, you got a second, I think.
Right, you're voting on to postpone it. If it's not postponed, then it will still be before the council to do something with. So So this is just postponing it
This
until
is
next month.
to table it till next month.
Right, that's what I said, it's just
Right.
postpone it till
Yeah.
Table to next month. All in
Or-
favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Kathy, would you call the roll?
Mr. Martin Owen,
Yes.
Mr. Richard Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Stuber,
No.
Mr. Roberts,
No.
Mr. Horton,
No.
Mr. Tripp,
No.
Ms. Reed.
Well, it didn't pass.
Motion fails.
Motion failed.
Then I make a motion back to what Mr. Moore originally recommended, that we condemn the property and that we put him on a 188-day rehab agreement and make it official. He's admitted here tonight that he has the money to do it and more than enough time to do it. I move that we enter into a rehab agreement.
I second that, and the reason I have sympathy on this, but yet we have to keep everybody on the same playing field as much as possible.
That procedure we started a couple of years ago, and I think it's worked out pretty well almost every time.
So we are now recommending a resolution to enter into a rehab agreement, which will take it 180 days. And there was a motion and a second on that, am I correct?
That's correct.
Any other discussions?
What are the requirements on the rehab?
Mr. Bruce Moore will answer that.
Given the passing of the resolution this evening to place this as a condemned structure, you as owner of that structure would have a 7-day window to either enter into the rehab agreement or take the structure down. If you choose to go into the rehab agreement, you would just come to our office. There's a form you'll need to fill out. There is a deposit that would need to be placed with the city finance director's office. And it does put you on time benchmarks, which will require that you get certain sections of the building, certain trades in the building completed by a certain date. And all of that's clearly stated in the rehab agreement.
What degree of rebuild is necessary now? Is it just putting a roof on and fixing the windows, or is it rewiring the place?
No,
Is it painting it? Is it making it look like this?
Yeah, it'd be a little more.
Do you have any more questions?
No. Do you? Nope. All right.
Bruce?
To what extent does the building have to, is it just putting a roof on and repairing the glass? Is it rewiring the building? Paul mentioned that he was gonna run all the power inside the building off of extension cords from an outlet.
That's gonna be-
That's not going to be
That-
code.
Those are gonna be answered, those questions will be answered.
You can meet with the building
in the office,
official, Brian
right?
Holstein. He can tell you what all the code requirements are
He wouldn't
based
tell
on
me.
occupancy.
I called Brian and he said it was you guys, so.
We're telling you that you would need to speak with Mr. Holstein. He'll clear that up for you. He's
Okay.
the building official for the city.
Have a motion and a second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Would you call the roll, ma'am?
Mr. Horton,
Yes.
Mr. Tripp,
Yes.
Mr. Stuber,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Martin Owen,
No.
Mr. Harris.
Yes.
Motion
carries.
passed. It's number 3 next. Okay.